Welcome everyone to another Challenger Misfortune analysis. In this series I analyze the gameplay of a Challenger level Misfortune player, and it is again Emdiel. I think all of the videos are about Emdiel except for one maybe. Probably should mix things up a little bit more. But he plays probably the most spicy Misfortune build there is, with Dark Harvest and full lethality, no boots. So I'm about to see some crazy one-shots, I hope. And judging from the gold graph from this game, this is a game with lots of ups and downs. And since his lane opponents are actually, let me show you, Lucian and Nami, this is going to be also very relevant metagame-wise, since those are two of the top-tier picks currently in solo queue. And Misfortune starting Doran's Blade because well, there could be an argument to start Doran's Shield, because Nami is actually a super strong lane bully, especially level 1. But Emdiel seems to be confident in his ability to deal with that, so there's the Doran's Blade. And Lucian obviously is not that poke heavy, but rather an all-in champion. So as long as you can avoid getting all-in, and this pretty much means avoid getting bubbles by the Nami, you should be good to go in this lane. Yeah, they're already conceding level 2 because Misfortune can never outpush a Lucian. Especially not with 0 attack speed. Yes, Emdiel starts W for easier wave clear and better leash at the blue buff. But it's still not enough to outpush Lucian's double shot and his pushing with abilities. And Emdiel's runes, just in case you don't know, is Dark Harvest, Taste of Blood, I Will Collection, Ultimate Hunter, with Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm. So really no attack speed, not at all. Not even passively from Precision Tree or something. Twisted Fate disconnected? Okay, it's the enemy. Twisted Fate, sure. Alright, so this is good for red team obviously, but nothing you should anticipate really. Yeah, but this is a rather calm laning phase. Misfortune doesn't really want anything here. She... well, Emdiel definitely knows that he outscales. Lucian is an early game bully. Misfortune is an early game bully too, generally speaking, when you go for the Arcane Comet builds especially. But with Dark Harvest and Gathering Storm and all those scaling runes, and going pure damage item-wise, This is a really hard scaling build, and late game you can definitely assassinate anyone on the enemy team when you look at them. Well, Na in his mega form is fairly tanky, but the rest of them just explode as soon as Misfortune touches them. Let's look at this exchange a little bit more in depth. What happens here? Well, red team has a fairly big minion wave, which is good for them, because if blue team attacks them they get minion aggro and they do a lot of damage. Okay, Rakan jumps in, seeing the Nami out of position, but eats a lot of damage from the Lucian. Yeah, this is exactly what I mean. You don't want to fight a Lucian in the early game like this. They win all in trades, definitely. Rakan did miss his knock-up, if I saw that correctly. So they could have come out on top, but it's not worth the risk in my opinion. Because when you go even in lane, you have to remember, when you go even in lane, you will win later, since you outscale. So, by going for plays like this, you just risk that well, that the Lucian gets some kills and prevents you from scaling, because he simply takes his lead and extends his lead and carries the game with it, right? Okay, but now he's in a 1v2 situation. Rakan is almost back, yeah, but as you saw, he just idled at the back of the lane there. No pressure for him, since the lane pushes into him anyway. And now he can safely farm on the tower. This is one of the upsides of this build. He should almost be able to, yeah, last hit casters on his own, but Rakan is helping him, which is nice. The enemy, of course, have recalled. Lucian, no, Nami got the kill. Oh well. But they pushed the lane under turret, they have just killed the Rakan, and they obviously want to use their gold lead to snowball the game. Or, well, to snowball the lane first and then the game. But they should have returned, but yeah, they returned. Okay, I was thinking for a split second that they might have gone roaming. which is not the case. Lucian sitting on a Vamp Scepter, which renders poke damage basically useless, especially considering he also has a Nami with him who can simply press W and heal him back up. So poke damage is mitigated, and all in favors the blue team's composition in the bot lane. So there's not too much Emdiel can do, really. What did he go for? Yeah, he bought a Serrated Dirk, no potions, against a 1-potion Vamp Scepter Lucian, and a longsword. So he's definitely behind in items. Lucian spent more gold. Nami obviously spent more gold than the Rakan, she has boots. Yeah, you need to play passively. The most important thing when you're playing a losing lane like this is to not let the enemy extend their lead by giving them openings and opportunities, but you stay as healthy as you can and farm under tower. That's the best way to deal with a situation like this. Emdiel missing a last hit there, randomly. Okay, he gets the cannon. That's nice. Right, as long as they stay in this area, I hope you can see my mouse, my cursor. As long as they stay in this area, they should be good to go. However, Emdiel has not really a means of healing back up when he got poked, because he doesn't have lifesteal neither in his items nor in his runes, and Rakan relies on landing his Q in order to heal him. Speaking of which... Okay, Emdiel has Taster Blood, but you probably would need a Q bounce for that to favor you, because if you simply go for a trade, you will lose against Lucian Nami. Yeah, but he gets his farm, gets his last hits. He's only 10-ish behind. Could be worse. Alright, they see the Elise coming. Rakan once again misses his knock-up. Okay. Alright, so from what I saw, a couple things happened here. But, okay. It's still not over, is it? Yeah. That could have been good for Red Team if the Rakan had hit his knock-up. That was the key here. Because Lucian, he did so much damage. Misfortune bursted him down, but still, he did enough damage that the Ignite could finish him off. Or her, rather. Oh, I switched pronouns. Her makes sense because Emdiel is male, I think. I don't know, I would guess. And her obviously fits because Misfortune is a female character. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Misfortune got way too damaged, and this could have been prevented because as long as the enemy is airborne, they obviously can neither attack nor use abilities, which would save a lot of HP there. Looking at the scoreboard, at least Nami's got the kills, so Red Team has got that going for them. And obviously what's helping too is the Twisted Fate consistently disconnecting over and over again. Yeah, that's obviously not perfect for an analysis video like this, because I want to see a... Wow, that worked. Hold on. Alright, so what happens? Misfortune overextends, gets saved by the Lucian, by the Rakan. A clutch heal, and yeah, Lucian has no choice but to run back into her ulti. Yeah, that was really clutch. They traded 1 for 1. Yeah, the Rakan really is the MVP in this situation. Misfortune did the mistake of overextending and giving Lucian an opening, but she got away with it. Yeah, Rakan reacted very well there. And in the end it even favored the red team because Lucian died and Rakan died. So Emdiel could, well, he couldn't really stay in lane and farm. So yeah, basically it doesn't matter, actually, now that I think about it. It still favored red team because Misfortune got the kill and Lucian didn't. Right, but red team is slightly behind at the moment. And is the Twisted Fate just never to be seen again? That would be so lame. Oh no, there he is. Alright, but he's massively behind. Yeah, this is obviously not optimal for an analysis because I want to analyze the most average game possible, so it's so you can learn as much as possible from it, right? And with a mid lane difference like this, yeah, but okay, mid lane differences happen regardless of AFK or of simply feeding. So it's not too bad, I guess, and the laning phase was very authentic. And still is. I mean, laning is still not over, which is remarkable. Alright, Lucian dodging the Q. Emdiel, just farm. Farm, come on. Dude, what's wrong? What's wrong, dude? You missed 100 gold for no reason. Alright. Interesting. Normally Emdiel goes for Duskblade into Ghostblade into Last Whisper. In this game, however, he decides to buy a pickaxe, which makes me think he rushes a... what is it called? Edge of Night. Is there a reason to do so? Yes, there sure is, because it's the same problem that Jhin faces when he's against a Nami. Because when Jhin ults, obviously the enemy sees that, and Nami can simply ult in his general direction to cancel his ult. And Misfortune, while not being as susceptible to this, still can fall prey to that tactic. Because as soon as she... wow, yeah, quick Rakan initiation. But as soon as Misfortune ults, Nami can simply ult her and cancel your ult early, which really cuts your damage. So going for an early Edge of Night seems plausible. Nice. However, chip damage on the Lucian, it looks nicer than it is. As I've said, he already has lifesteal. Yeah, but with the jungler, they should be able to do something here. Take this turret, maybe. Yeah, mid lane is not moving, obviously. He just turned level 6, which puts him massively behind. Yeah, they get first turret. And in theory, the move you should make as a bot lane is you rotate top lane, take the top turret, your top laner takes bot farm, and after you take top turret, you take mid turret. What's this though? Is this taken? I have no idea. On the minimap it's still there, but here on the screen, not really. Yeah, red team also has established control over Dragon with this control ward. Okay, now it's cleared. Yeah, but this is a reason you shouldn't go top lane immediately, because you can still fight over Dragon. But generally speaking, you want to rotate top lane as soon as possible. In this particular case, because Dragon is still on the map, you take Dragon and then rotate top lane. Right, probably waiting for the Elise to make a Dragon play. Oh, by the way, this is not Emdiel's main account, this is his Smurf account. Well, quote-unquote Smurf accounts, because this is also Diamond 1. So it's not too far from Masters and Challengers. Just simple farming. Elise, however, not prioritizing the Dragon at all, which seems really odd to me macro play-wise, since the only thing keeping Emdiel and Rakan bot lane there is this Dragon on the map. Yeah. I don't know what that was. Blue team starts to get ahead, despite Twisted Fate being so far behind. Yeah, I can rewind this, why not? But this is nothing special, this is a massively put behind AFK mid laner gets jumped on by Rakan Misfortune. Nice Zhonya's though. Or stopwatch rather, I guess. Yeah, stopwatch. All of the enemy team are missing, however, so he should probably retreat, looking at his health total. Rengar respawns now. Doesn't. Okay, Lucian and Nami are showing top side of the map, so it's safe. But now Rengar's respawning and they have to recall. Else he will just get a double kill. A chain vest. Alright, he's just sitting on a pickaxe and a chain vest. Emdiel, I guess you are watching. Can you explain your reasoning behind this? You finished your Duskblade first item, but you're going for the F-Sword and Pickaxe, and well, this obviously goes into what's a Guardian Angel, yeah. But Pickaxe, are you skipping Ghostblade and go instantly for Lord Dominic's, or well, maybe we see over the course of the game. You're probably going to buy once more or multiple times. The game is still at 15 minutes. Misfortune's not yet in the fight, but now can easily clean up with all the souls laying around, I would guess. Alright. Waiting 1 for 1 it seems. Oh no. Twisted Fate going in. Right. And Misfortune looks dead. Wow, she lived. Okay. That would have been hilarious. But there's no way you survive that. Yeah, but this fight, it was a little bit awkward because Misfortune was rather late. But in generally speaking, fights like these favor Dark Harvest Misfortune because all those souls are just randomly laying around and you can proc your Keystone multiple times. Rakan casually soloing the Megana. Right, finally this dragon gets some well-deserved attention. Yeah, finishing his Guardian Angel now. Makes sense. This is a super fed Rengar. And pretty much the only real threat. Illusion is a threat too, but he's not particularly fed, and he cannot sneak up on you like Rengar can. Yeah, just casually clearing wolves, which is a good idea. Just for some extra gold. And Emdiel told me that the most effective way is to quote-unquote make your jungler hate you, as in take as many resources as you can so you get your items quicker. And this is really easily done with Doran's Blade, but if you got Doran's Shield at the beginning, you have 0 lifesteal and you have massive attack damage and deal a lot of damage, so the 3% actually matter a lot. But with Doran's Blade, you obviously have 0% lifesteal, and wolves and especially raptors really do damage to you. Gromp too, by the way. I think Gromp is almost as much as Raptors. Damage-wise. Alright, pushing out the top lane. This tower is still standing, so... yeah, Emdiel obviously looks to take it. After the dragon is off the map. Yeah, the rotation top lane. As I've explained earlier. Happened a little bit late, but hey, better late than never. But opportunities like these are obviously golden for Misfortune. Too bad he's getting flanked by Lucian. Wow. Yeah, that was his best bet, trying to burst the Nami since she had less health than the Rengar and he had a Dark Harvest stack ready. But a 3 versus 2 situation is nothing you look forward to, generally speaking. Whenever you're outnumbered, never look for a fight. Even if you're ahead, it's probably not the best idea. Except for if you're massively ahead and pretty much can 1v5 them. Then that's a different story, of course. But this game is very much even. Alright. This is confusing. Pickaxe would go into Lord Dom's, Executioners would go into Mortal Reminder. I guess he goes Executioners because of Nami healing and Lucian lifesteal. I think it's the Lucian lifesteal mainly. What wave is... he's kinda late. The wave will be gone as soon as he's there, but he gets the next one. And he is at 144 farm in almost 20 minutes. This is not too good, but this game was pretty packed as far as action and team fighting is concerned. Right, there's one person showing on the map, so... well, Emdiel has the advantage of seeing when he's spotted, since he has Ghostblade in his inventory, right? So even if people are missing on the map, he doesn't need to play too cautiously if he's not seen. Right, but now the interesting part starts, because Baron is about to spawn. And in high elo games, Baron is obviously a very high priority, and people will try to take him as soon as possible. Already fight breaking out near the Baron pit. Just some love taps though. Rakan wasted, well, not necessarily wasted, but he put his ult on cooldown, which obviously favors the enemy team now in a team fight. But this was super dumb. This is the exact reason why you don't dive in Misfortune. You just don't face check a team like this. The Emdiel can just now clean up with all those souls laying around. Yeah, the grave mistake that the Rengar committed there was jumping into Fog of War. Jumped into 5 people, put his team at a numbers disadvantage and lost the team fight single-handedly. Twisted Fate still underleveled, not really a threat, and this really shows what one mistake can cost you. They get an inhibitor for free, all because the Rengar tried to jump in there. And got punished super hard. Mid lane is now open. Right now with a clutch teleport. Rengar with the ulti. Emdiel does have Guardian Angel and a lot of souls. Right, but he dies now. Yeah. As bad as the blue team's mistake was, red team made the mistake of overstaying. They went through detours in the jungle. They should have stayed grouped. Just ran towards the turret as a group of 5. Makes it harder for the Rengar to jump in, and the teleport from the Gnar wouldn't have gotten him a kill on an isolated target, because when you walk as 5, you're obviously not... You cannot be caught out because the teammates are protecting you, right? So this should be Baron. No way red team can be there in time. Let's actually look. Yeah. Alright. However, another important objective is about to spawn, and this is Infernal Drake. And Baron is obviously... Well, the rule of thumb is Baron is worth 2 inhibitors. So, map pressure-wise, the tone of the game, the pace of the game could now drastically shift towards blue team. But we will see what happens. If they use their Baron buff correctly, or if they just go into the jungle, clear camps. But if this is Diamond 1, so I would guess they know how to play with Baron buff. Alright, that was 2 for 0. Let's break this down real quick. Right, what happens? Obviously Infernal is the desired objective here that is that they're fighting for. So both teams are looking to take this, which obviously favors red team since blue team wastes time not using their Baron buff properly, and Rengar gets caught out, which is a huge problem for blue team, because he has 16 of their 26 kills. Let's see what happens. He gets caught, and, well, he flashes away, but he's so low he cannot do anything. Now jumping into to save him, into 5 people essentially. Well, he has an army as backup, but this is still a 5 versus 2. Rakan escapes, now obviously goes down. And red team is now looking for a cleanup. Twisted Fate gets scared away from Emdiel's burst damage, and the ulti softens Lucian up enough to the point where they can finish them off. Yeah. This is not only a free Infernal for red team, but also blue team did waste a lot of time from Baron buff. Instead of trying to contest Infernal, it might even have been better. Well, obviously Rengar just jumped in randomly, and they didn't have vision, they couldn't establish vision control in time anyway. So what blue team should have done, they should have just exerted Baron pressure in mid lane and in top lane maybe. In mid lane so they don't get swarmed by supers, and in top lane because it's farthest away from the dragon pit, right? is, in my opinion, would have been the correct decision macro-wise, but mistakes have been made. What's Emdiel buying? Oh, he did go for Mortar Reminder. Interesting. He always says that he thinks Lord Dominic's Regards is super important for full lethality builds, because the more lethality you have, the more the extra 10% armor penetration matter. But he's opting for Mortar Reminder, giving huge respect to the Lucian and the Nami, which probably is correct. I would probably do the same and then feel guilty because I ignore Emdiel's advice. But he's actually skipping Ghostblade, which I've never seen him do before. I would guess he goes for Edge of Night now, because he has no longer any space in his inventory and cannot buy components. So, no Ghostblade? Alright. I don't know exactly why, because Ghostblade is a very good item on Misfortune. But maybe it just thinks Edge of Night is more important. Yeah, Twisted Fate just... But let's break this down immediately. Twisted Fate just pretty much inting. Okay, Twisted Fate ults now. Sees where they are. Nami fails her engage. Lucian misses his ulti almost completely. Twisted Fate ports into 3 people on his own. Well, Rengar was there, but he wasn't quite there in time. It was actually closer than I anticipated. Had the Rengar and the Twisted Fate synced up their engage a little bit better, they could have easily blown them out. The Twisted Fate went in way too early. Way too early. Right, Emdiel fell prey to him, but doesn't matter. 4 people on the enemy team are down. Na is nowhere to be found, and they can just not finish the game if he doesn't recall. Yeah, he is way too late. Now the recall is finished, but the game is already over. Wow. Alright. One key takeaway from this game is that itemization on Misfortune is everything but brain dead. You always need to think, even with pretty straightforward builds such as full lethality. You sometimes, if the enemy have a fed assassin, you sometimes just need that Guardian Angel second item. And well, can we still see? Yeah, and I don't know what that is about, but Emdiel, you're probably watching. Can you tell me why you skipped Ghostblade, and if you intended to build the Edge of Night instead? Would you have gotten Ghostblade afterwards? What was your plan there? I would be interested in that. Yeah, but this game was pretty much lost due to slight lack of coordination from the blue team's part, and obviously red team punishing accordingly. Well, I hope you enjoyed my Misfortune Challenger analysis from patch 8.16, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye!